Oh my goodness, good afternoon. Hi, Bloomington-Normal, you guys showed up. This is awesome. Come on in, you're just in time. My name's Jeanette Jerzyk. I am the national director of an organization called the She Said Project, the organization that created this little program called That's What Teens Say. We also produce a show called That's What She Said. You might have heard of it. We have some She Said sisters in the house. Well, back in 2018, we realized that there's incredible power in the sharing of stories when you create a safe space for women and teen girls to be vulnerable and passionate and creative. And so we decided to create that same environment for our young ladies. And so I've been running this program since 2018 in Champaign-Urbana. This weekend, I think, is my 16th round of That's What Teens Say. Thank you. I have worked with like 200 plus girls, and every single time I am blown away by the powerful things that they have to say and the important topics that they want to talk about. So I have a lot of people to thank for making this weekend possible, but I'd like to introduce you to the CEO of the Family Community Resource Center, the organization that brought this weekend to life. So please say hello to Belinda Kennedy.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for coming out to support this program. It is very important to the teen girls. All the skills and things that they have learned this weekend, it's just wonderful, great. I'm going to give you a little overview about the Family Community Resource Center. We help people who are operating in crisis mode, individuals and families, anywhere from being involved with DCFS, needing information about resources and referrals in the community, domestic violence awareness. A lot of people truly don't understand the consequences of being in those type of relationships, and empowerment programs such as this. So we are happy to be able to bring this to you, and if you need any further information, just see one of us. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Belinda. And most of you have a program. So Family Community Resource Center is the organization that reached out and said, we want That's What Teens Say to be in the Bloomington-Normal community on a regular basis and help to make this possible. We'd also like to thank the Soroptimist Society organization, Little Jewels Learning Center, Synergy Home Care, Sandra Groves and Rebecca Mentzer, all who stepped up and said yes to supporting this program and bringing it to life. On the back, so many people to thank. These girls were treated to lovely meals by Moe's Southwest Grill and Banshan Korean Chicken. Thank you to everybody, the Extraordinary Women Project, our team, Kevin McGuire, the team at the Heartland Theater, like everybody said yes to making this possible. So here's the deal. You guys are about to meet 8 beautiful, incredible, talented teen girls. And normally when you come to a theatrical production, you wait till the end of the show to give that applause and stand up and give them that standing ovation, right? But they've been with us since Friday evening, and they have put in so much work already. This performance, this is just the icing on the cake. So when they come in here, help me out. I want everybody on their feet, cheering them on because they deserve it. Are you ready? All right, so we're gonna bring them out here. Are we ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming your 2025 That's What Teens Say speakers. Woo!
When I was about 11, I was taken away from my mom by DCFS, but look at me now. My mom's boyfriend would abuse my brother while my mom was at work. He would scream and yell at us and make my sister cry and make me mad, but look at me now. I grew hate for everybody. I didn't want to even live anymore, but look at me now. I would get suspended every day. I went to school. I would fight and cuss out all the teachers thinking that it would give me respect, but I didn't, but it didn't. But look at me now. I got tired of waking up and being mad and going to school just to get sent back home. But look at me now. My mom was going in and out of the hospital. I was worried and stressed out. I got hooked on to vaping and smoking. I thought it was fun, but also I thought it would clear my mind and make me feel better. It just messed up my feelings and emotions and made me tired and moody all the time. But look at me now. This November, I started going back to church. I pray and ask God to make me see myself better. Today is January 26th. Look at me now. I'm a changed person. I learned how to control my anxiety and anger. Look at me now. I got an award for being the most positive in my class. All I'm trying to say is even though you're going through something, pick yourself up and change. Don't let your feelings set you up for failure. I've been through a lot, but look at me now. Now what I do to cope with my anxiety and stress is I draw and I talk to my mom and grandma more, expressing how I feel instead of keeping it in or smoking it all away just for it to come back. Look at me now. Now that I have everything I need to move on and keep going, I'm going to finish school, go to college, get my college diploma. I'm going to go to cosmetology school and get my permit there and buy a salon and start my nail shop. Look at me now. I know what I want, and I'm open to opportunities to grow and achieve my goals. Look at me now.
Sometimes I feel like I live two parallel lives. I try to fit into my American values and I follow my Indian culture. To me, it feels like I'm Spider-Man. I have two identities. I celebrate Diwali and Pongal, a harvest festival celebrated in South India that gives thanks to the sun, nature, and farm animals for a great harvest. But I also celebrate the 4th of July and Christmas. At home, I do pujas and prayers, and at school, I say the Pledge of Allegiance. At home, I eat chicken biryani, and with my friends, I eat cheeseburgers. At home, I'm called Kuti, which means small baby, and at school, I'm just called Ria. But being Ria at school means many different things. Sometimes I hear things like, oh, you're only in geometry because you're Indian, and let me guess, you ate curry for dinner. And let me be clear here, curry is more a Thai food than Indian, so. And by the way, I was born here, and I am as American and as anyone else in this room. These were all the words that many people would tell me when I was in 7th grade. They were all stereotypical phrases that I heard often, so I shouldn't be offended, right? But I was. I would think, oh, is this what people would, and more so my peers and friends, see in me? They didn't see my personality, my attitude, or my efforts. They would just judge me based on what they saw, and it made me really question myself and ask myself, who am I? People who say these are, let's be honest, small-minded, ignorant, and probably insecure of themselves. People saying these things does not make it okay to say these words to someone, but you can control how you use these words for your benefit. You can either be insecure and doubtful of yourself with them, or you can stop the cycle and embrace those words to shape you for the better. Yes. My parents are both immigrants from India and lived in America for almost 25 years. They have always taught me the importance of knowing who I am and what are really my values. So who am I? I'm a girl named Ria Balakrishnan. I'm a girl who is an 8th grader at Evans. I'm a girl who loves to play volleyball and does many sports. I'm a girl from a great, big, vibrant Indian family whom I love. I'm a girl who always has a messy room and doesn't really like to clean it. I'm a girl who loves to spend time with my friends and family and create everlasting memories. I'm a girl who will work through hard things and find a way to make it work. I'm a girl who does classical Indian dance. I'm a girl who speaks my native language, Tamil. I'm a girl who wants to make a difference in this world. I feel like there's a certain way that Indian girls have to live, limited things that we can do and not able to do lots of things. I enjoy doing sports a lot. I do sports and I also do track. I also used to be a competitive gymnast and it was my favorite thing ever. When I tell people I do track, they act surprised. Oh wow, you don't really look like someone who would run track. I took these words very seriously and I would go home and think to myself, is what I'm really doing that unbelievable? I've had people tell me, oh, you look like you usually do homework when you go home, or usually Indians aren't really good at sports, but I guess you're different. These words hurt especially as a 7th grader who wasn't used to this type of racism. To every girl out there, especially those who can relate to me, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Don't let anyone's negativity or doubts hold you back. Haters gonna hate, but their words should never define you or your journey. You are entitled to your passions, your dreams, and your voice. Never let anyone make you feel small or less than you are. The world needs you to shine unapologetically. Stand firm in your beliefs, chase your dreams with courage, and remember, you are unstoppable. Your potential is limitless, and nothing and no one can take that away from you. Maybe it's not so bad to have 2 identities like Spider-Man. After all, it is my superpower. I am Riya Balakrishnan, a girl of many things.
When I was 10 years old, when I was 10 and 11 years old, I was very small. When I was in the 4th grade, I looked at other girls and
It's okay. You're okay, baby. You're all right. It's okay. It's all right. You got this, Mary.
Where are you at? Here? Which one?
Come on, Mary.
One word at a time.
In my family.
You got this.
You're missing it, so let's do this.
That's right.
I'll hold
That's
it.
right.
Look,
Be your Wonder Woman stand. That's right. You did an excellent job. That's right. That's what it takes.
in my
You can.
I feel different from all of them. I had a cousin that went to my school. She was like on the bigger side too. When
You're doing a great job.
she said to me, "Would you ever get thicker?" I don't know.
You said, okay. Then I took it upon myself.
Then I took it upon myself to start to work out to make myself grow bigger. One day my mom asked me, "Why do you work out?" I just said to get strong, but I was lying. Because I was scared.
I was scared. What is that? I was scared to tell my mom.
Because I thought she
That's okay.
To tell her how I was feeling about my body.
how I was feeling about my body. I thought that my mom would be worrying about, so I just told nobody. When I got in the fifth grade, I went to a new school. I met these girls, and one of them became my best friend. The other girl liked to work out, so I worked out because for different reasons.
You got it.
My reasons were because I wanted my body to look like a girl's. I wanted to look. I wanted to look. I want. I want. I wanted. I wanted to look. I wanted to look like other girls because I was getting bullied for my size. But I had to learn there are some good things about my body. The good things are that I was able to do ballet for 2 years. I was good at it, and I felt confident about my body now. I wanted to do gymnastics. I started practicing, and I was able to do all of it. I actually felt confident after that. Now I know that my body is beautiful in my own way. In my own way. I am able to do lots of things in life, and now I am happy about my body. I love my personality now that I'm older. I feel like I can talk about how my body has changed. I know that I still have more room to grow. Remember that all girls' bodies are beautiful in their own ways, and don't think that your body is not beautiful, because your body is beautiful. And at the age of 11 and 10, I had to learn that at a young age. So remember that all girls' bodies are unique.
January 31st, I was admitted into Lincoln Prairie Behavioral Health Center. 172 days after my 12th birthday, I was riding in an ambulance on the way to a place meant to help me. The last time I saw my parents before leaving was being wheeled out in one of the hospital beds, even though I could walk perfectly fine. On the ride to Springfield, Illinois, I had my phone, texting my best friend Rain in my family group chat. It was pitch black out of the window that was in front of me, and an old lady sat next to me, checking my pulse every few minutes. She kept asking me if I was all right. Even though I replied yes, you could see I wasn't. It felt like jail, a place you could walk into with limited outside contact, anxiety churning in your stomach from the fear of the death penalty on your next court hearing, though no death penalty was involved or court hearings. The death penalty could be the fear of getting in fights or laying in bed and getting jumped by a group of people who hated you because you sat in their chair that day. The court hearings, there was none. There was only therapy sessions, having to lie and say you've been getting better just to try and get home quicker to see your family and pets. I sat in the waiting room for around an hour before the lady called me from my trance of watching Elemental on the tiny TV hanging from the wall. I signed around 60 papers, signature after signature, that my parents had already agreed to. I changed into a dark blue sweatset in the bathroom while she looked through my backpack that my sister had packed. The strings were cut from my favorite sweatpants, but my cow stuffed animal stayed in my arms throughout my stay. After telling the woman in my life from when my thoughts of suicide started, she brought me to an elevator. That woman reminded me of someone I knew well, Blair. She was a tall black woman with her curly hair in a bun, but she treated me like I was a kid she just met, instead of an insane patient that needed to go in a padded white room. After sobbing on the phone with my mother, begging to go home, just for her to tell me it would help and to give it a chance, we hung up. The new old woman brought me to another room, a medical room. A tall woman walked in with us, grabbing a sheet. They checked for scars, marks, things that they could identify on my body. A thin white sheet covered me from the eyes of strangers I knew nothing about, stripping the only protection from my body. She quickly looked, only for a moment, and I appreciated her for that. After changing, she brought me to another level. That night, I cried on the bathroom floor and slept with 2 family pictures under my pillow and my cow in my arms. The rest of the days were a living hell. One night having woken up to a man going through my nightstand, another day seeing a girl having been hit over the head with a chair, hearing the screaming and yelling, banging on the doors to try and get back to the fight they had been in. But some were peaceful, like Friday nights where we sang in the group room to Taylor Swift on the TV, or getting pink lemonade in a pitcher with styrofoam cups. While there, I wrote many letters, either to myself or people who I love. One thing I remember well is seeing a girl in the group room. She had large, puffed-up, pinkish scars on her arms. I looked at mine that were thin and bumpy from the tiny eyebrow razor I used at night when I felt empty. Mine were different than hers, smaller. Did mine matter? But they weren't much different. The difference was the story. Every scar is a healed story trapped beneath skin. The first night when I was finally able to come home, my 2 older sisters came into my room. They held a cardboard box from Build-A-Bear. I was supposed to go up to a large mall in Chicago while I was gone. In the box, a small teddy bear with golden fur and a red sweatshirt that said hugs. Hannah, my oldest sister, said they named it Stick because it's the first word that came to mind. I cherish this bear, not because of its stupid name, but because of the people that gave it to me. On January 31st, it will mark 1 year since I was admitted. It doesn't mean I haven't thought about it. I've been scared to ever try anything. Anytime I think about it, I think about my family, friends, and those closest to me. Because if just last year I couldn't manage to stay on this earth for me, then I will for them. But in the near future, I hope to for me.
My story begins back when I was little, and how I always dreamed of having that perfect life with a nice big house, a wide backyard, marble countertops in my kitchen, with a big family and a medical degree. You know, the so-called American dream. But as one gets older and more mature like I am, and most of you already are or will soon become, you come to realize that the much adored American dream is not all that it's cut out to be. And as I grew up, raised by a single mother, she didn't have to say anything, but her actions showed me that she could have somebody to depend on. My mother is an I can do it by myself kind of woman, but sometimes she did not have it all together, and that's okay. It's okay to have somebody to lean on. I've seen people that have it all, and because they have all those riches and wealth, the wealth gets to their head, and it can break up happy and humble homes. And you realize that it's okay to live a calm and less greedy life. Not saying that the people who have it all are greedy. I'm just saying that you don't need all the riches to have a perfect life. It's okay to be in a lower class. It's okay to not have it all. So now my big dream is to learn to stay comfortable where you are, because now I believe that comfortable is my kind of perfection. I believe that women should not have to get jobs just to become successful on their own. They should go for that job that makes them happy and not the one that pays more. Like when I grow up, I want to do something that I'm passionate about. I like to cook, maybe I'll do that. I like cosmetology, maybe I'll become a cosmetologist. Or maybe y'all even join the army. Whatever I feel more comfortable with doing and not what pays more. It's okay to be you. And this topic means so much to me because little girls are raised to believe that we should be independent and that we should have it all, we should reproduce, and at the end of the day, that is not true. Little girls should not have to look at these independent women's lives thinking that they have to be rich and they don't need a man. They shouldn't feel like they have to live up to those standards, because it's okay to be dependent on somebody else. It's okay to be married or maybe even dating and not have kids. It's okay not to live everyone else's life. It's okay to do what you want. My message to all the little girls coming straight from my heart is it's okay to be you. And even after all is said and done, I still think about those marble countertops.
Life isn't always what it seems. Some people may only see you from the outside in, but never from the inside out. Life feels like a fairy tale, just a story that can be made up however you would like. In fairy tales, there's always an antagonist, someone who's there to put you down or stop you from what you do best. Sometimes you try and hide from your antagonist, but it feels like they find your hiding spot every time. You try and hide from the name calling, the doubt, the feeling of being unworthy, the disappointment, the disrespect, and all the negative things. All the hiding and running from the hatred, and somehow it still finds me like we have a string tied to each other, a knot that can't be undone. That's when you must find an escape from the hate. You must find someone or something that makes you escape from your reality. That something for me is my tower. My tower that's all about me and has all the colors and things I love. My tower is where I feel safe, where I feel hidden, and no one will ever find me. There's a life outside the tower that I want to live, feel worthy and respected, a life where great things come to me, a world that proves to me there's great things to live for, a world and a life I know I can make happen. I know I can make this happen because I've chose to find and do something better for myself than believe what I get told and continue to listen to the hatred and negative comments. There's more for me in the world, and I want to find that more for me and do better for myself. Fairy tales can be in a belief or an illusion, but you can always make it your own. I love you. That's all I say. I love you, I love you, I love you. But do you love me? Your eyes, your smile, your lips, your hair, your voice, your funny, your laugh, your nose. The way you make me smile, the way you talk to me, the way your eyes smile when you smile. You're sweet, you're thoughtful, you're handsome, you make me feel safe, you make me feel seen. You are smart, you make me happy. Every time I see you, my face turns red. The way you say hi to me, the way you look at me, the way you dress, your communication skills, the way you love, you remember the small things. You make me feel comfortable in my own skin. Your scent, your hands, your hugs, your big heart, your kind heart, your loyalty, your dedication. You're grateful for the little things I do. You listen, you express your feelings, you respect my boundaries, the way you love, the way you compliment me, the way you look in certain clothes, the way you hold my hand, the way you make me feel loved. Talking to you every day, falling asleep on the phone. Our conversations, the way you admire me, your love language, your intelligence, your childishness, the way you make me laugh. You're my best friend. You don't take me for granted. You are a shoulder to cry on. I can trust you. You put your trust in me. You valued every second we have together. You don't try to change me. You don't force things on me. You share with me the way I felt in your arms, your facial expressions, the way you hold me, your honesty, you're affectionate. You always know how I feel. You can find me in a group of people. You're generous. You put me first. Your courage. You have faith in us. Our deep conversations. Your confidence in us. You're an open person. You accept me as a person. Your way with words, the little paragraphs, the good morning text, the good night text, your touch, the way you acknowledge me, the way you look when you wake up, the way you look when you're mad, the way you look when you're sleeping. Your goals, your weaknesses, any of your imperfections, your jokes, any interaction I have with me. You put me first, you make me feel comfortable. Your determination, you know how to have fun, you know what the word no means. You believe in us, you're brave, you make me feel important, your obsession with me, you're outgoing, your body. It's funny though, because my 99th reason is your first. Is my body all that matters? You say you love me, but do you really? Or is it just my body? That really hurt. When I thought I had genuine love, it was only for my body. A person can sit here and talk to you for months, then switch up because you won't do anything. I sat here and wrote out how much I love you when I'm supposed to be telling a story about myself. So that's what I'm going to do. I am brave, I am kind, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am powerful, I do matter. And so do you. So never let anyone tell you different, and don't make the same mistake as me. Never put anybody else before yourself.
How come black girls aren't allowed to be weird? That's a question I've asked myself 100 times. As a child, I was not familiar with black girl stereotypes. I was not aware that I didn't fit the black girl stereotype. I didn't know that black girls were supposed to be loud, dramatic, and ghetto. I didn't know that black girls were supposed to act grown and aggressive. And God forbid you didn't have a majority black girl friend group. I remember the day I was finally exposed to this harsh reality. I was in 4th grade, and there was this little black girl I used to sit next to at the allergy table in my school. The table had often made me feel like an outcast. We were secluded from everybody due to our food allergies. But somehow, this little black girl I sat with managed to make me feel better about being an outcast. But one day, my idea of her and myself changed. Me and this girl were talking about our personal interests until I realized that she started to look at me weirdly. I stopped speaking before asking, "What? Did I do something wrong?" This girl took a few seconds to answer before asking me, "Why do you act like a white chick?" Those words have stuck with me ever since then. I don't blame her for asking me this question. I blame society for pushing the stereotype on us. Throughout society, you can see these black girl stereotype characters in shows, kids shows, books, videos, apps. I could go on. And the truth is, as much as I love these black girl characters and how entertaining they are, they promote a closed mind along with them, like thinking that black girls are only loud, only dramatic, and only aggressive. I'm saying this because this closed-mindedness has infected the black community. Think about how many black girls have been called an Oreo or a white chick. Then think about how many of those black girls probably don't feel black enough just because they don't fit that stereotype that our own community is pushing on us. I guarantee that there's a lot of those black girls out there that are feeling this exact way. To all those closed-minded people that think that black girls can only act one way, I say to you, I am weird. I am introverted. I am quiet. I can be dramatic and serious at times, and I can be ghetto and classy as well. And if you consider me to be an Oreo because of that, then you need to open your mind to the undefining personalities of black girls around the world. Thank you.
I've been walking with my face down to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. And I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I'll do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel my early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I got a made up mind. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll ride with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. And I know I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. From across the river, can you feel freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new road. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare